Hi everyone and welcome to Water Worlds. My name is Anthony and this is a daily update of me working in the shrimp room. It is a special day as we have new arrivals in terms of shrimp and plants, which means that we have to set up new water worlds. Let's see what is new. Now that the three lights for my new rack are up and running, I moved at the bottom shelf a few terrestrial and aquatic plants that I had here and there at my place. I also placed in the middle shelf two empty tanks and a special design jar, which as you can see sits on a driftwood. So what are we gonna do today? Well, the time is against me as I got in some shrimp and rare plants, which means I have to drip acclimate the shrimp and plant the plants before they start dying off. I do have a few tanks that you guys have never seen so far in my videos, with two of them being planted tanks. However, in them I mostly keep common plants and I would like to keep it that way. I believe that the plants which I got today deserve their very own water world. So we will set them up in a new dedicated tank just for them, and hopefully they will survive in the long run and I will be able to propagate them. Besides getting these plants, I also got 22 Neocaridina shrimp. This time my pick was random. I believe I got Bloody Marys. For sure I got Blue Dreams to bump up the number of my Blue Dream colony over there. I also got Green Jades, just males. And I also got a few Black Roses. So you all know what we have to do with the shrimp before adding them to any of my existing tanks. We have to drip acclimate them. I know that you saw a few cool things at the bottom shelf over there and you're wondering of what they are. However, we will discuss more about them in the monthly shrimp room video update coming out in a few days. So subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for this update. Well, let's go and see what I got. Okay guys, in here I'm keeping the green jades. This tank is now housing yellow cherries, but we're gonna discuss more about them in the future. And in here I have my blue dream colony, and over here I have the new shrimp and plants with the heater to keep them cozy. So what we're gonna do now is to take the bags containing the plants out and empty most of the water while leaving a little so the heater keeps heating the shrimp, and I will start the drip acclimation process by taking water from the green jade shrimp tank directly into the bag containing the shrimp. Let's start the process. I will be taking water from the green jade tank, and for this reason I place the tank with the new cherries directly underneath it to make things easier. As mentioned earlier, I lowered the volume of the water in the tank to help myself stabilize the bag inside. The heater will keep them warm. I will have to hold the bag upright so it won't tip over as it fills with water. And now I'm gonna create a basic drip acclimation kit. I placed an airstone on one end because the green jade tank has cyclops and baby shrimp. However, I do not want any shrimplets getting stuck in the tubing while I am drip acclimating the other tank. I also placed PVC coated wire around the air tubing and clamped it on the glass in order to hold it in place. The water goes down here and is dripping in the bag. I tighten a knot here, and depending how tight it's gonna be, you can adjust the rate of the drops getting in the bag by either loosening it or tightening it further. The peg over here holds the bag and the tubing in place. Once the water in the bag goes up to the top, I will remove the water currently in the tank, which is by the way untreated tap water, and release the shrimp in it. So the shrimp will remain in this tank for a couple of days so that I can check that they are all healthy, and I will be performing 5% water change, guys, on a daily basis in order to prevent the water from getting toxic for them. Okay, let's go and set up the planted tank. This is the tank which I'm going to set up for the new plants. I made this tank myself at some point last year, and now it is time to put it to good use. It is a 31-liter tank, however, it's gonna drop down to approximately 24 liters with the addition of the substrate, the heater, and a power head. So I have the two bags with my plants. I have a filter. I'm just gonna use it as a power head, create water movement in the tank. I also have a 25-watt heater, which is ideal for the tank's final net water capacity. In terms of substrate, I will use the Eco Complete. Each bag weighs 9 kilos. My tools are here and I'm ready to start. The first step is to add my substrate. And now I'm going to level the substrate in the tank. As you can see, guys, I'm not going high-tech here with different types and grades of substrate, and even though I do have a CO2 unit, I'm not going to use it for now. I am now going to add water up to a point, and then I'm going to plant the plants. Before adding any plants, now that the water is in, I will install and switch on the heater in order to warm up the water a little bit, as at the moment it shows that the temperature is down to 19 degrees Celsius. And now it's time for me to show you the plants. The first one that I'm gonna show you is this one, this little beauty over here. Its common name is Crimson King. I just hope that I will be able to propagate this one. The second plant that I'm gonna show you is this one. So the common name for this one, and I'm not kidding, is blood vomit. Yes, you heard me right. It's a really unique plant, so hopefully I will be able to propagate this one as well. The next plant that caught my eye is this crypt over here. It's the Flamingo Crypt. And as with all crypts, I do expect some leaves to melt, but that is okay. It will bounce back once it will get used to my tank's water parameters. Now the next plant is this one over here. I have absolutely no idea of its ID. So if any one of you knows its name, please do leave a comment in the comment section below. Now, why I got it? I got it because I think I've never seen it before, so I treated it as a collector's plant like the other ones I got. The last plant that I got is this one. It is the Madagascar lace. It is a well-known plant, but regardless, it is not a very common one. I always wanted one, and finally I got it. I believe that it will outgrow this tank, and I'll probably have to move it to another tank down the track. Just give me a second to plant them in the tank and set up the power head. And finally, we're ready with the plants. They're all in. I can't wait to see how they will go. I am going to add a few more collector's plants or unusual plants in here in the days to come. I want to propagate them in order to use them in projects coming up in the future. 24 hours of slow drip acclimation passed. I have released the shrimp in the tank. So let's give them something to feel more like home. I'm going to place some Java moss to provide them with biofilm existing on it to munch on and give them a place to hide if they want to. As mentioned earlier, I will keep them in here for about 7 to 10 days in quarantine. As you can see, guys, I was sure that they will go for the moss. It must be something like a park in the shrimp world. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned a thing or two, or at least you got a few ideas. Now, before you go on Google trying to find information about the plants that I showed you earlier, please like my video, leave a comment to let me know if you knew about these plants prior to today's presentation, and also please consider subscribing to my channel, as I will have dedicated spotlight videos for each one of these plants in the future. Until the next video, take care guys, bye bye.